One of the things we do for our Tech Titan members is watch out for your interests in Austin and Washington, D.C. And I want to give you an update on what's happening in Austin and the legislature. Our legislature meets once every 2 years, and as of this point, we're about 40% of the way through the legislative session. Over 6,000 bills have been filed. Not all of them will make it into law. And there's some that I want to report back to you on today. The most important bill the legislature has to file is the budget. And as of now, the House and Senate are working on their respective versions of the budget. We're rather concerned about what we see as budget cuts in education that will affect the technology community. This is both in public education, K through 12, as well as higher education. And we've been active in promoting our interest to the legislature on this issue. The bills between the House and the Senate are pretty far apart. Unfortunately, the state will have less revenue to deal with in this coming fiscal period than they do in the current fiscal period. So we know there's going to be some cuts somewhere. We're trying to really protect our interests around education so that you have the workforce that you need going into the future. The second issue is the so-called bathroom bill that has been heard in the Senate and has been approved by the Senate. This is a bill that we've opposed because we believe it sets a bad policy in terms of discrimination against the LGBT community and sends the wrong message about our business climate in Texas to workers that we want to recruit and keep in Texas. We were not alone in this opposition. In fact, during the testimony before the Senate State Affairs Committee, there were over 1,500 people who testified against the bill and a little over 200 who testified for it. We joined groups like the Texas Association of Business, the State Chamber of Commerce, in opposing the bill. It now goes over to the House, where we hope that we can kill it there. The third one is a more positive one, and that is identical bills have been filed in both the House and the Senate to establish what are called P-Tech academies, or Pathways in Technology Early College High Schools. This is a concept that IBM developed in New York and that is being brought to Texas. AT&T is working on the development of one of these academies in the Dallas School District. And what it does basically is it takes a business or group of businesses with a particular interest in a skilled worker and works with a high school and a community college to develop a curriculum from which those students can graduate with job-ready certificates. And the experience shows from IBM that those students who graduate from their P-Tech programs get preferred job interviews and hiring preferences, and it helps fill a skills gap. Those bills, the one in the Senate has been heard in the Senate committee and is awaiting to be voted out. The one in the House has not been heard yet, but we will be tracking that. As always, we have your interests at heart. In addition, we're going to be active in Washington, D.C., taking a trip there at the beginning of April and focusing on health and tax reform as well as immigration and trade. If you have any questions about this, you can contact me at bill@techtitans.org or check us out at www.techtitans.org. Thanks.